welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today we are discussing The Bachelorette, Becca's season, episode 7 in the Bahamas. Guess who's back? Back again. Meg is back. Tell your friends. Alrighty, so I took a bit of a break. I do apologize for that. If you are interested in my input on episodes 4, 5, and 6, I do have a video linked up above and down below, so be sure to check that out if you would like to see what I had to say. But regardless, let's get on into episode 7. The episode starts with Becca sitting down with Chris for a check-in, and she's basically letting Chris know that the process is working for her and she is falling for multiple people. So, I mean, I'm so glad to hear that because she really had to fight through quite a lot of duds to get to the point where she is, and I think like the guys that she has left is a really solid group. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of drama. By the way, in my last video I addressed the Lincoln drama and some of the other stuff that had been going on. I know that somebody had told me that there was also some kind of scandal involving Leo. I tried doing research. I couldn't find anything, so if anyone knows if like there was like some stuff that Leo was involved in that would like make him look really bad, let me know in the comments below because I've really been liking him on this season, and again, like I don't want to blindly like someone, so if you know the dirt on that, please let me know. But the date starts off with Colton getting a one-on-one, and now we get to see poor Blake start to crack, and it makes me so sad because I thought from the beginning he would be such a great guy for her, and I think like it's just that point in the show where all the drama is gone and the guys have nothing but to focus on themselves and their relationships, and it's getting down to the end. Feelings are obviously getting a lot more serious, so it's a lot more difficult to see your friends on the show and other guys on the show go out with the girl that you are falling in love with, and he is just hitting it really hard. I'm sure the other guys are feeling it too, but they just are really giving a focus on Blake at the moment. Poor guy. I'm sure, again, it's production stirring up conversation. But basically they get all the guys talking about how Colton's a virgin, and they're trying to make it this huge scandal, like, oh, he hasn't told her yet, like, that's a deal breaker, and I'm sure at that point those guys are hoping it is a deal breaker so they can, like, you know, further their relationship with her. But I just think that it's just, again, bad on ABC to be, like, trying to trash someone or, like, encourage other people to trash someone for their sexuality and, like, you know, their sexual history. Just saying. Now, Colton and Becca have a really great date together. They got to go diving for conchs, have an aphrodisiac. By the way, production could not have been more obvious with the date and the setup, like basically like making it obvious that there's something, you know, they really put the pressure on Colton basically to tell her that he is a virgin, and he did have that conversation with her at dinner, and Becca kind of had, I'm like really interested in her reaction. I kind of wish they were interviewing her after she got up to leave, because it's like, is it that big of a deal? I mean, that's debatable. It depends on the person. It depends on your relationship. I feel like maybe she got up and left because Colton didn't clarify like what his virginity meant to him and like where he wanted to go with it necessarily. He waited until she came back to clear that up. I don't know if that's what the issue was, but I would really like to know like why she got up to leave to process it. I mean, it is a serious issue if you think about it, because, you know, she's here to find a husband, and if he's never had sex before, what if he wants to, you know, have more experiences? Is just the one experience with her gonna be good enough? So, I mean, I guess I can get it. It is a lot on your plate to think about. And the date ends with them saying that they are falling for each other. Next up, we have the one-on-one with Garrett, and again, Blake is a little bit butthurt over it. She has, Again, Becca has a really great romantic beach date with Garrett. However, she made note that they are like really good like she made note that they're really good chemistry-wise, but is there anything beyond that? Which I think that there is, and again, with the whole Garrett scandal, if none of that happened, I feel like I would really be rooting for him, because I feel like him and Becca have such a strong connection because they have a similar background and upbringing, like they're into similar things. So I was kind of surprised to hear her question that and say that she wants Garrett to challenge her more. And Garrett says that he's starting to fall in love with her. And from that, she got the depth that she needed. And she says that she is on the same page as him. So here, Becca's starting to have the issue of definitely falling for multiple men. The camera then pans back to Blake sitting at the beach house, and he is about to poop his pants when the next date cart comes. And luckily for him, and probably luckily, but not so luckily for the other guys, because like I feel like Blake would have had a complete meltdown if his name was not on that card. But luckily for him, his name was on the card, and he does get a one-on-one with Becca. Here he chooses to talk about his insecurities, because there's always one person at this point that is really struggling with the fact that they're falling in love, or they are in love with this person and they're seeing other people still. And Becca mentions that she's able to empathize with him because she's been in his shoes, but at the same time, she said she can sympathize with Ari because it's very difficult when you are getting such strong feelings from multiple people, and to try to pick that apart and decipher it to make sure you're ending up with the same person is a very difficult job, and this only makes the poor Blake more nervous and probably more insecure to hear that she is falling for multiple guys. He is able to get past that, however, and enjoy the rest of the date, and Blake is the first person to drop the L-bomb and tell Becca that he loves her, and it's just so sweet and cute. And Becca lets us know off camera that she loves Blake too. They are 100% on the same page, and she said it's killing her inside to not let him know. And it is just so cute and so adorable, and I really hope she ends up with Blake, and I will talk about predictions here in a minute. Dun, dun, dun! We move on to the 3-on-1 with Leo, Jason, and Wills, and this is such a toss-up, and I was feeling what Becca was feeling. She has so many different things with these different guys, so it's kind of like, who do you pick? Of course, inside I was like rooting for Leo, but that is the first one to go. And it makes sense because you gotta rather get hurt now than hurt down the road, and they both just admit to each other that they just don't feel the same. Leo is just like, hey, like, I just want to let you know, I know the other guys are falling for you. I know that they're telling you that. I'm not quite there yet, but I think after hometowns, I could get there. And we see this a lot where the person takes that into consideration and still carries on a relationship with them anyways. However, Becca was on the same page as Leo and chose to let him go at this time. So I really hope he comes to Paradise at some point. I don't think he's on the main casting list, which, by the way, that will be my next video out discussing the cast of Bachelor in Paradise and predictions. So be sure to subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you can know when that video is out, and join the discussion with me because I am super excited for Paradise. In the meantime, Jason and Wills are both pleading their cases to Becca on why they should stay, and she ends up having a dinner with the both of them. I don't know, my TV cut out at this moment for something that the president had to say, so I kind of missed out on the exact conversations, but I know that we all know that Jason was falling for her, so I'm sure he reiterated those feelings to Becca, and she probably said again she's on the same page as him. And then Wills probably, I think he did say he was starting to fall for her, but he wasn't quite sure. Again, his feelings for her aren't as strong as Jason's, not as strong as Colton's, not as strong as Blake's or Garrett's. So he was more on the Leo side of things. But at the end of the day, Becca had to decide between someone who feels strongly for her and someone who isn't quite there yet. She feels very strongly for both of these guys, and she says she's playing with her heart. However, I feel like she's also using her mind in this because she decides to keep Jason on, who does have secure, strong feelings for her rather than leaving it up in the air to Wills, who isn't quite sure how he feels about her. Obviously, Wills did have strong feelings because he was devastated when he got sent home, and we got to see him have his little breakdown moment, and it was so sad to watch because Will seems like such a cool, genuine guy. So next up, we have Hometowns, which is Colton, Garrett, Blake, and Jason. And I'm going to go ahead, and it's a little bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear who's in the bottom two, then feel free to click off on this video. Thank you so much for watching. But basically, we know from Bachelor in Paradise spoilers who is on the casting list. And Jason is on the casting list, and we've seen leaked pictures of Colton with Tia, which there's obviously going to be drama with that in the next episode. It seems like it gets revisited. So that leaves it down to Blake and Garrett, and I think we all know our feelings about Garrett. I know my feelings, and I know my feelings about Blake. I really hope she ends up with Blake. We do know Becca did get engaged at the end of this, and I heard through the rumor mill, I try to avoid spoilers like the plague. I don't like knowing things, but I heard she doesn't pick Garrett. So, is Blake the winner? I guess time will tell. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Is there anyone that has been on this season that you would like to see in Bachelor in Paradise? Let me know. And like I mentioned earlier, that is going to be the next video up on my channel, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you are into anything beauty related, I do a lot of beauty videos. I will have a tutorial on this makeup look up next week. So again, if you don't want to miss it, be sure to turn on the bell notification so you are notified. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.